afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you are watching this tutorial from. So, welcome to today's PHP tutorial class. We are going to be starting with what is on our calendar today is functions, arrays, and strings, right? So, first of all, we're going to be starting with functions, defining a function. Okay. Okay. So, how do we define it? First of all, what is a function? I think that's the first thing we should ask. First of all, what is a function? Now, a function is a reusable code that perform a task to avoid, like it is using PHP to perform a task, which I think it helps in avoiding repetition. Not I think that's what it is. So let me give you a scenario where you make use of a function and where why they say a function is a reusable block of code, right? Let's assuming that is, you have list of APIs that a user before a user creates a buys a product, they provide the token. Before a user pays, they provide the token. Before a user sees the details, they provide the token. Before they register or log in, they provide the token, right? So in everything you're writing in your code, they are always needing a token. So what do? When you create a function, then maybe a function, the name of the function could be token. Then inside that place you write a code that automatically generates a token. So whenever you are writing a code that requires a token, you don't need to come and rewrite a code that will give you token. You just call on that function token and it will give you that token. Whatever you are doing, you just keep on referring to it. Now it is being reused, right? So that is importance of what one of the importance of function, and it avoid repetition by reusing it. It is avoiding repetition. You cannot come just keep repeating a code that will give you token every of your code. So that's one of the importance of functions. So now let's proceed to defining a function, which is the first thing on our list. Define a function. Now, how do you define a function? If it's Laravel, you start with public or private, depending on the usage of it. So in PHP, you start with function. Now once you write function, what is the next step? You find the name. You give it a name. Let's assume it's a login. You have to give it the name login so it will match with what it is working for, right? But in our case, you're going to be using greet. Once this is a greet, now put in a remember to put a bracket in front of the name of your function. That's what makes it a function. Then after that, open a curly bracket. Inside this curly bracket is where you're going to put all your code that works for that particular function, right? Okay, so that is it. Now what we've done is defining a function according to our list. Now the second one in the list is passing argument to function, right? So passing arguments to function. How do we do that? Just put in the argument in that parenthesis of that greet, right? Variable name. Now we have passed an argument to the function. That is how to pass an argument to a function. You can pass more than one argument. Whatever, we've just passed one argument to the function. So the next one on our list is returning values from the function, right? So we just passed an argument to a function, but if you run it, it gives you nothing. So we have to do what? Return a value from this function. First of all, let's echo it out. Echo, let's say we want to echo hello, the name of that person, right? Hello, concatenate it with the name, right? If you want to give space, concatenate it with double, we'll give it a space. Now this will give space between the name and the hello, right? So terminate the line of your code. This is not all. We have to return this function, because if you return it like this, what is actually what is this variable name? Is it going to just echo hello variable name? No, you have to give it the actual name that will echo it out. So you have to now return the function greet. Inside it, instead of passing the variable name, pass the actual thing you want it to call. Now let's say Priska, right? Now I've actually given it a name to call out. If I run this code, I expect it to work as expected. Now you see what I'm getting. Hello world Priska. If I take out this double quote I put in there and echo hello Priska, they are together. So that double quote does what? Give space. You don't just put double quote, give a space between the double quote just like I did, and it gives you a space. So now that is all that has to do with function, defining a function, passing an argument, and returning values. This is basically all. So let's keep moving. We have, oh sorry, we have more things in our table. Now let's move on to what we call index array. First of all, I've told you guys how to know an array, right? Okay, I think it's here. Index array. I've told you guys how to know an array. It is either the array is this way. You just put in the things you want to put in 5, or as far as in the square bracket is an array, or they'll just write an array and then parentheses inside there. You can put every other thing. It is also an array, right? So you are going to be using the square bracket, or should we use the array function? Anyone works. So now, what is an indexed array? So let's first of all create an array and put a list of things inside the array. We have apple, we have banana, right? We have another one, orange. So that is it. Okay, now this is an array. We have sequence of characters, multiple things that can have. If you want to define all of these things now in a variable, you have up to 3 variables. But because of an array, the help of an array, we are able to assign multiple things to one variable. So now, how do you now assign each of them one by one? Because that is the purpose of it now. You just use an array to put it together instead of having multiple arrays. So for you to now access them one by one, just like if you have created them in a separate variables, how do you do that? An index array is it finds its elements using keys, right? Numeric keys. So let me explain what I mean. I prefer practical. Now I want to access banana, right? I call array, then open a square bracket, which is an array, as you know. And then remember, one thing I have to let you know is that array doesn't count from 1, it counts from 0. As this apple, the index value of the index key of this apple is 0, banana is 1, and orange is 2. It starts from 0, it doesn't start from 1. So for me to access banana is 1, index 1. So I will now say 1. This is index array for you. If I echo it out, okay, I need to echo it out. I forgot. If I echo this out, I'm getting what? Banana. So let's assume I want to echo out apple, right? I'm getting apple. So that is what an index array. You access the elements in an index array using index key or numeric keys, right? And remember, every array starts from counting from 0 to 1. 0 up. It doesn't count from 1 up. So that is all that has to do with index array, right? So this time we're going to be using the normal array function, not the square bracket. So there's another one in our list, associative arrays. Okay, I think I've given a sample of that. Okay, associative array. Okay, so associative arrays use named keys to access elements. It uses what? Name keys to access elements. Each element is associated with a specific key value pair. Now let me explain what that means. Okay, so let's create an array, person, and give it many attributes. Array function, right? So now we have name. What is the name of that person? Should be Priska. We now have a person have an attribute of name, age, city, and all of that. We have age, 60. Okay, we have another attribute called city, right? We say Lagos. Okay, we have actually defined. Now we've set it up. This is what we call associative array. You are no longer accessing them now using an index key, either 0 or 1. You are accessing them using the name value, the name value, or the name keys. This 60 now is what we want to get. You call it by name, which is age. You want to get Lagos, you call it by the name city. You want to get Priska, you call it by the name. So, but in this array, you don't just assign it a name, you just call it with an index key. but here you use the name index name keys or index name or whatever. So this is just it. So okay, to echo out, let's assume we want to echo out Priska's name, right? To echo out Priska's name, we just do echo person. Am I actually typing? So echo person variable, right? Inside the person variable, we open our square bracket, and we give it what should we give it? We are trying to echo the name, right? We now call what name? Sorry, I got a bit confused. Okay, so now that we've echoed that name, so we should be getting Priska. If I run this, we are getting Priska. So the same thing applies to every other element in this person variable here. Same thing, we can go for age. Should be seeing city, we should be seeing Lagos and all of that. So these all that has to do with what? Associative array. There's nothing much that has to do with associative array. So when you hear it, don't panic. It's not much. It's something that you can learn and understand. So after associative array, there's one other array that works like matrix. I don't know, most of us have learned matrix in secondary school, even in university days, right? So okay, I think yeah, it's already here. So now, what is a multi-dimensional arrays? These arrays have arrays within arrays, right? So it works like a matrix. When I create a variable, call it matrix, because that's what it works like. So I now write array. I can decide to use the square bracket array, right? But I'm using this one, array. Now inside this array, we have other arrays. Now I have another array, right? Now one of these array, I will just assign it to 2, 5, 6, right? Okay, remember that inside an array, you separate everything with a comma. You don't terminate your code with semicolon like before. You just use comma because you are inside an array, remember. Okay, so I create another array, and then I will say 1, 7, 0. Okay, another array to this. You can have multiple array inside an array. Okay, so I have this 7. Okay, so this is set, right? So how do I now access? You still use index key to access each of these things. Now how do I access any of these things I have here? Since this is how an array works, right? Since this is how multidimensional array, if you already have an idea of matrix, I think you should be understanding how to access this by now. So you call the matrix first, the matrix variable first, right? Now I want to access the first row, the first array, the column 9. I want to get this 9 in the first row. Do you understand? I want to get this array. I want to come inside this first array and get this 9. That is what I want. So how do I get it? Remember that array counts from 0 to what? Up. It doesn't start from 1. So this one now is 0, this one is 1, and this one is 2, right? So if I want to go inside this one and get something, we start from 0, then another one, and then I access them here. So now first of all, matrix, open a first array square bracket 1, call it 0 because I want to go into the first array. Now I've gotten into the first array. How do I now access what is inside that first array? You open another square bracket, and let's say 2. Terminate your code. If I do this, okay, so why is it not working? Why is it not working? Okay, did I not? Oh, okay. Once you forget to put a semicolon, you keep getting nothing. Okay, so you can see now I've been able to go into this first array and got the value of and get this 9 using an index key. Index key of 9 is what? Is 2. Index key of 9 is 2. So that is just it. Index key of 9 is 2, because if you count from 2, say 0, 1 and 2. So let's say I want to go into the array of the second array, which is 1, and get the index of and get this 0. The index of 0 is 2. If I run it like this, I'm getting 0. And if I say I want to get, instead of 2, I want to get the 1, I will be getting 7. Now the 7 is this, the 7 in this row. So this is basically how everything works in multidimensional array. There is nothing much, there is nothing to give you headache. Just calm down, rewatch this video, rewatch and rewatch and rewatch. You will surely understand this, okay? Because it might not necessarily meet in your journey of tech. You might not keep constantly see yourself make use of this multidimensional array, but surely believe me that you will, one way or the other, find a way, or find yourself using this constantly. Some might not even meet it again in your tech journey, right? So just know it for the knowing purpose, so that you can be able to teach others and also use it for your personal use. So now that multidimensional array is done, what is the next thing? I need to teach you guys some array functions that you need to know. So there's one thing in this array function, right? You don't make use of echo. If you echo it, we just, okay, let's start first. Array functions. I've created an array. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to do that. I will create an array now, give it numbers, right? Okay, 2, 3, 6. I will leave it like this. Terminate it with this. Okay, so now we are going to be using the first array function that is here, which is array what? Array push. Okay. Array underscore. You can see the list of them are already there for me. Array push. Now you must put a function, a bracket or parentheses to make it a function. So inside this array push, it accepts nothing but 2 parameters. One, the actual array that you want to push something inside, and the second parameter is what you want to put inside that array, right? So now we have number, we have 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 6, and by the index it is 0, 1, 2. But I want to add another value after 6, right? You get, I want to add another value after 6 in the last one. So how do I do that? I use array push function. Then first of all, I call the numbers array, comma. What number do I now want to push inside this array? Since I've pushed in 6, let me say I will put in 7, comma. So if I run this, it will work. But for us to echo it out, if you use echo, okay, if you use echo to do this, remember it's the numbers that you're going to echo out. If you use echo, you'll be getting array. Let's run it so you see with your eyes. This way you're getting the array. So you don't use echo to do in this type of to display it on the browser. This is like using array function. You don't use echo. You make use of what? Either print R. Either you use print R. Okay, so what am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? I didn't miss a semicolon, did I? Oh, okay, so let's try to use Vadom. I was trying to show you Vadom as a second option. Okay, I don't think I'm missing anything, did I? Okay. Oh, so it's because I was using print R, it didn't work for it, but print R worked for some. So Vadom is the second option to display things you did with array functions. So now this is what I pushed in 7 here instead of 2, 3, 6. You can see here it's showing 2, 3, 6 and 7, because I've pushed in what? 7 inside it. So now that is it for array push function. You use array push function to add another value or digits inside the array or already existing array. So now after array function, we have array push function. We have what we call as what is it? Array pop. Array pop is used for deleting, removing the last. Is used for deleting or removing the last digit in the array, right? Or the last element. So removing element. So we are going to be writing array. The function is array pop. Array underscore pop. Array underscore pop. So what do you want to remove? Call on the numbers, that is the variable containing all the arrays. Now what we are doing here now is if I keep this here, if I still keep it out here, you will see that yes, is this one thing will just go. Let me vadom it. Vadom variable numbers. Okay, so I allow the array push to be there, so it will push this 7 to this one, and then I will now remove the last element in the array, which will be this 7. So if I vadom the numbers, 7 should not be among the things that will be listed for us. So let me proceed. Okay, am I making a mistake? Oh, sorry, is it number or numbers? I'm saying array pop numbers instead of number, right? I think that is where my mistake started from. Okay, so you can see that the 7 that was pushed before I did array pop has been removed, because pop is used to remove the last element in the array. That is what array pop is used for, right? So we comment this, okay, and we comment this. The last thing in our list is what we call array function. Okay, array merge. Yes, it is used to merge two arrays. It is used to merge up two arrays. Array merge. So now we have to create another array that we want to use. So the next array we want to use is let's call it merged arrays. Okay, let's create an array. Nine, 8, and 1. So this is the array what we want to merge into this. So in total, when we merge it, we should be getting total of 6 digits, right? Which will be 5 if you count from 0. So now let's come down to the array merge. I think I've done array merge. Okay, here. So let's call on our array merge function, or let's just give this thing more numbers or more arrays. So here we now call on our array merge function. Array merge function, as you already know, it accepts 2 parameters. The first one is what we want to add to it, which is number, the already existing array, and the one we just created, we want to add to it, which is what more. Is it more arrays? Yes, more arrays, right? So this array merge has already merged it for, but we have to vadom it to see how it was merged or what the outcome is. So let's create a variable called merged and vadom it. Okay, so when we do this, oh wow, so you can see that array merge is used to merge 2 arrays, right? You can see the outcome. So this is all that has to do with arrays, functions, and I think we have one more in our list, which is string concatenation, which I've always taught you guys is a dot. I think so, yes. Okay, string concatenation and some string manipulations. So first of all, let's create a string. Okay, we've already created a string, a variable string, and assign it hello world. So now we are going to start with concatenation, I've already taught you guys, so instead of going back, remember to use a dot to concatenate your strings and variables and all of that. That is string concatenation. So the next thing, the string function in our list here is string length. This is used to get the length of a string, right? Okay, so let me comment this. Let me just take it out. Create a variable, call it length. You now type the function string length, right? Okay, string length. Oh yeah. Okay, is a function, right? So what do we want to find the length of it? Is a string. Okay, so terminate this and echo out length. Okay, I really hope I think the length should be 13. Count it. Hello, h 1 2 3 4 5, the comma 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Remember to add this space. I didn't count space. If you count space, it makes it a total of 13. So now that is how you get the string length and how you make use of the string length function. It only accepts one parameter, and the parameter is what you want, the string you want to find out the length. Then we have substring. To get the substring, I think I've done that here. Okay, substring. Okay, I've done that here. Okay, so create a variable, call it sub equals, call on this function sub string. Okay, now how do you find a substring? Like this. Now this is a total of a string. I want to get only hello. I want to bring out only hello from this string. How do I do it? Remember, it counts from 0 upward. So now I want to bring out only hello. So in my substring, I will call on that substring, the string first. String. I will call on the string. When I call on it, comma. Now it accepts 3 parameters. One, where the substring, the index of that substring, where it starts, which is 0. Hello starts with 0. Hello, H. Then after hello, where does hello end? The digit of that hello. H is 1. E is 2. L is 3. L is 4. And 0 is what? 5. So that is where I want to stop. 5. If I echo variable sub and run it, I get only hello. Now what if I want to get the word, right? I think the word 5, right? Hello stop at 5. There is 6, and the word W should start with 7. So if I say 7 ends with 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's say 11. I hope I get it right. Pardon me. So I get word. Okay, so hello, the word, I think it starts with 6 and end with it starts with 7 and end in 10, because it's the 11 I added and made together exclamation mark, right? So this is how to get a substring. Now the last but not the least we are going to be discussing today is getting a string post. Like the index, just like word, where does it start from? It starts with from the, when you count this thing by digit, counting it starts with 7, right? So I want to get the position of this word. You understand what I mean by getting position? Okay, the index where word starts, so that is string post. Getting the index of a particular word, where it starts from or where it stops. Just get the, so if you use string post, you're just going to be getting the index of where it starts. So let me give you an example. It's just the position of it. In fact, it's the position of it actually. Okay, now we write a function string post. Okay, put in the variable, the string actually. First of all, put the string. That is what you first expect. Comma. Now I want to get the position of word. right? The position of that word in the string. I paste it here, comma. If I echo variable position, it will give me the position of the word, and that position will be which index or digit does this word W start from. That is the position it will give me, and it's 7. If you count it, it starts with 7, right? So that is just this string pose, and there's one more or two more to add for you. If you want to convert your string to an uppercase or a lowercase, make use of the string to upper or string to lower. Now this is how it works here. Uppercase, string to upper, it accepts that whole string, comma. If you run it, sorry, did I make a mistake? Okay, let me calm down. Oh, I didn't actually echo it out. Echo hello world. The same thing works for string to lower. If you run it, it becomes a lower case. So I hope I was able to impart some knowledge to you guys, right? So please, if you don't understand what I just did, rewatch this video as many times as possible, so you will get it and you understand what I'm doing and what I just explained. So I hope I was able to impart some knowledge to you. Thank you for attending today's class, and I'll be looking forward to meet you guys in our next class or live session. So please be expecting your task and do well. Thank you and good luck in your tech journey.